Hey, this is Rick from For Community, creating community spaces so you can connect with others and also with God. I attended the very first annual business meeting that I've went to in a new organization, the Ontario Association of Marriage and Family Therapists. Yes! And as I went to that, I was feeling like a total noob. I'm not typically a nervous guy when I get into crowds, but man, I was feeling like I was stepping up into a bigger arena filled with people who have qualifications way beyond me. And here's what I discovered. I discovered a totally non-toxic community. It was awesome. We all get it. We all get that we're the kind of people that benefit from therapy. We're those kind of people that need to go to a therapist, and we love it. And there's a general sense that we're all heading in the same direction. We're at different levels of capacity. We're at different levels of competency, but we're all in this together. We all know that we're all broken. I think that was a big part of it. And as broken people, we get it, and we're all journeying with other broken people towards health. So good. Man, that feels good, doesn't it? It feels good when you're in the presence of other people that they're not trying to jockey for position. They know that they're just as messed up as you are, and they're just still there taking their time with you and walking the journey with you, and they just keep moving forward with you, not lobbying for power, but they just get it. We get that we're all broken. Okay, enough about me. What about you? Please consider pausing the video and ask yourself this question. When was the last time you were in the company of someone else who recognize that they're as equally broken as you are, or just plain equal as you are? How did that make you feel? This video is based on my interpretation of Colossians chapter 3, verses 1 through 4. This is a really, really awesome passage for all of us who are trying very, very hard to follow Jesus, and we keep on seeing what's wrong with us. And we're just hoping for the best, that God's going to overlook some huge, huge problems in us. I think this is an awesome passage. If you're looking for something to hold on to when you're trying to navigate equality and diversity, and discerning how both can exist at the same time and how they can be awesome, this is a great passage. Colossians chapter 3, verses 1 through 4. Since you've been raised to new life with Christ, set your goals on the realities of heaven, where Christ sits in the place of honor at God's right hand. Think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth. For you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Christ in God. And when Christ, who is your life, is revealed to the whole world, you will share in all his glory.
Hello, would you like anything else with your croissant?
Yes, coffee, please.
Coming right up. Oh, careful, the coffee's hot.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Have you watched the For Community video yet?
No.
Well, make sure you look in the background for all the cool characters. And kids, don't forget to watch this week's episode of Connect HQ.
Okay. The link to the Connect HQ video is found in the description.
Here's the point I want to make in this video about this text. It is okay to be broken. In Colossians chapter 2, we were frequently pointed back to the simple gospel and encouraged not to add anything to the simple gospel because of how powerful it is. Here in Colossians chapter 3, there's something different going on. In this passage in particular, it's pointing back to you. It's pointing back to me and helping us to figure out how we fit into the simple gospel. We all fit into it as equals, all equally broken and all equally loved. I recently did my personal devotions through this passage, and two things jumped out to me in a devotional kind of way. And I want to share with you the two things that jumped out to me while I was doing my personal devotions around this text. Here's number one. We're all on long-term disability. I wasn't quite sure how to package this, and so this is the phrase that came to my mind. We're all on long-term disability in way of illustration. The text says, "For you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Christ in God. I've known a few people who've had to go on long-term disability. None of them have liked it. I've walked alongside them through some real lows, and it really sucks being in a position where you can no longer make the money that you used to be making, and you can't do anything about it. You just feel trapped, and it really sucks because you feel stuck. Just connecting with others and keeping our head in the game, not losing focus, is so important during times like that. Gaining a new perspective during the transition, painting this new picture of a future that you can still achieve and it still looks awesome. All of that work is really tough. It can have a great ending, but man, it sucks to be in that place. Now, I hope that's a good enough illustration for you to catch what's going on in the text here, because this is kind of what's going on in the text. I want you to see the phrase, hidden in Christ. I love that phrase, hidden in Christ. Being hidden in Jesus is like being on long-term disability, in that when it comes to the simple gospel, to God's plan of restoring all of us to himself in this perfect relationship that will last for all eternity, there is a lot of work involved in that. I mean, someone needs to die on the cross to make that a commitment that that debt is paid for all eternity. Someone needs to be resurrected, so the possibility of resurrection actually exists, and then that possibility is made available to all of us. Someone needs to have a plan, set in place before the beginning of creation that can be carried beyond with the closing of human history. And the thing is, none of us can do that work. It is as though we're all on long-term disability. And it sucks because we don't want to be told that there's nothing we can do to fix a problem. So Jesus does all that work. But more than that, here's what hidden in Christ means. Here's where this comes in. Jesus makes it so that we're paid for his work, as though we actually did the work. Jesus did all the work and knows that he did all the work, but he stands in front of us, before us, while we're all on crutches or blind and deaf, and he's like, hey, they totally need to be credited for all of this work too. We did none of this work, but we get all the benefit for it. That's what it means to be hidden in Christ. The only thing we really did is to choose to believe in Jesus. We met the only one condition that Jesus was looking for. And for that belief, we get all the reward, as though we did all the work. And we totally didn't. We didn't make ourselves better. We didn't get unbroken from all of our brokenness. We didn't step up and climb up the corporate ladder to spiritual enlightenment, whatever that's supposed to look like. We didn't do anything to make ourselves any better than what we were before, and what we are right now, it's not any better than what we were before. We just chose to believe in Jesus. And when we did that, Jesus chose to include us in the contract so that we get paid for the work that he's done. I'm broken. You're broken. That's okay. We aren't Jesus followers because we know what's going on and we're smarter than everyone else and we're better and we're just healthy. It's not it. We're Jesus followers because we believe. That's it. It's okay to be broken. And just think, what would our communities look like if we could acknowledge that we're all broken and we're all trying our best to move forward, purely based on faith? Being broken is okay. It's very healthy. I mean, I don't want you to be broken. I want you to be moving towards health. I'm finishing a grad degree to help you move towards being not broken and healthy. But we're all broken. We all have some form of brokenness, which means we're all in really good company. Now, here's a second thing that popped out to me while I was personally reading this text. We're all getting fully paid anyways. And again, this is just an illustration that popped into my mind, trying to make sense of this passage here. The text says, and when Christ, who is your life, is revealed to the whole world, you will share in all his glory. One of the downsides about being on disability is that your pay goes way down, and that really sucks. But that's not what it's like as a Jesus follower. When it comes to the work behind the simple gospel, we're sitting on the sidelines. We've been benched, but we're getting fully paid anyways. Now, for me, talking about the distant future is really hard because not much has been revealed about eternity. We've just been given glimpses, enough to keep us hopeful and looking forward to something special. But there's something really, really solid that we do know. Whatever reward Jesus reaps from his work in the simple gospel is the same reward that we're all going to reap. And apparently the text calls it glory. Whatever eternity with Jesus looks like, it will be glorious. And we'll experience it alongside Jesus in the relationship that God wanted to have with his creation from the beginning of creation. And he's going to get it. And we're going to celebrate in that together. We're all broken, but God doesn't treat us as broken. We're hidden in Christ, which means that God treats us like we're fully able to participate in the work and be compensated for the work that went into the simple gospel, reconciling humanity with God. We're rewarded as though the work that Jesus did was actually the work that we did. I mean, that's not how it was at all. And God knows that it's not how it is at all. God's not pulling the wool over his own eyes. He knows that we're all broken. He knows that he did all the work. But this is how he set this up. This is his doing. You and I, we're both broken. And that's okay. God's done something about that and is glorious and heading towards more glory. And now we're all equal, side by side, as siblings. Not the kind of siblings that don't like each other, but the kind of siblings that do like each other. Most often. Sometimes, at least. When we're all in our own rooms, on our own iPads or on our own iPhones, something like that. Here's the summary. You are hidden in Christ, which means that God treats you as though you were equally deserving of the reward of the simple gospel as Jesus is for actually accomplishing it. You're heading toward an eternity where you will experience something glorious alongside Jesus as he celebrates the relationship he's always wanted with his creatures, namely you. For now, you're surrounded by people who are as equally broken as you are. We all carry brokenness. Yet in our brokenness, we are being healed and will eventually fully be restored and totally healed. We are in great company. That's it from me to you for now. Would you please like, share, subscribe? Please do all of that. That would be awesome. Would you please also ask for the link? Still meeting on Zoom, online, doing fine. Please ask for the link for community, creating community spaces so you can connect with others and also with God. See you next time.